Spiritual age? Have you ever heard of such a thing? Has it ever crossed your mind that there could actually be such a thing as spiritual age? What is it all about? As Christians, when do we even start calculating this kind of age? Today, I believe all of these questions will be answered through a stunning revelation from a woman who actually saw her husband's spiritual age. Now, if we look back at women of the Bible, we see that they have operated from different levels of spiritual insight. Sarah, for instance, was able to wait for 25 years to have Isaac. When her word finally came, she laughed, and that laugh birthed Isaac's name, transitioning what was in the spiritual realm into the physical realm. Isaac was called by that name because his mother laughed in the spirit. And then there's Ruth, a woman I truly admire. She knew her roots were pagan, but in the spirit, she saw that her life could turn around if she changed her spiritual root. She made a choice to become born again, and if we track her lineage, she became part of the family that brought forth King David, and ultimately, the lineage of Christ. Today, we're privileged to mark a new discovery, one that could shape our lives as children of God. I'm excited to share with you how Pastor Mrs. Darasimi has done something that can inspire many others, especially women. You see, 2 months ago, her husband, Pastor Lawrence, made a shocking revelation. He shared that his wife could tell his spiritual age. Yes, you heard that right. His spiritual age. How did this happen? So, how did Pastor Mrs. Darasimi Lawrence see her husband's spiritual age? This isn't just a guess. She didn't just come out with a random statement. There was something divine in how she discerned this. She could spiritually sense his maturity and growth over the years in a way that was both profound and shocking to Pastor Lawrence. What was Pastor Lawrence's reaction to this revelation? Was he shocked? Surprised? Well, he certainly wasn't prepared for it. As he shares, it was a shocking moment for him. He had never thought of himself in terms of spiritual age. He even said it was weird to him. But it made him reflect deeply on how his spiritual journey had unfolded over time. So, what can we learn from this? Spiritual age is not measured by the years we've been alive or the number of years we've been in ministry. It's measured by how deeply we know God, how much we've matured in the Spirit, and how much we've allowed God to shape our hearts. And I'll take you back to something Pastor Lawrence shared, which completely blew my mind. He talked about a young boy, no more than 12 or 13 years old, who had such spiritual maturity that he could shake a whole village. The boy was invited to pray, and after just a few minutes of gazing into the heavens, the entire village fell under the power of the Spirit. A young boy, but his spiritual age was far beyond his years. He moved heaven with his faith, and that's exactly what we're talking about today. Spiritual maturity doesn't always match physical age. Now, think about it, this 12-year-old boy carried so much spiritual power that he could alter the spiritual atmosphere of an entire village. This proves that age doesn't matter. You can be a young person like that boy and still wield great spiritual maturity and authority, even over those who may be older or more experienced. Spiritual age isn't bound by the number of years you've lived or the length of time you've spent in the church. It's about your relationship with God, your spiritual insight, and your ability to carry His presence. Just like that boy, you can be spiritually mature, regardless of how many physical years you've lived. If you found this message impactful, if it's opened your eyes to something new about spiritual maturity or discernment, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with a friend and encourage them to reflect